on the internet and try to download all the stuff you can find on mind control. Because we're going to have to deal with this also tonight too. Because what you got here is, you got a country where everybody in the country is crazy. And I'm not saying it's like a figure of speech. You know, we use words so much until it becomes a figure of speech and it loses meaning. I'm telling you, literally everybody in the country is unhealthy based on thought. And in order to make us unhealthy, they have to keep white people unhealthy. You see what I'm saying? So even though white people might behave better than us, yeah, we can say this now. White people now are behaving better than black people. Now, I'm just not being funny with this damn mess. Niggas are out of their fucking mind. But my point is, although they're doing that, everybody's a little insane. This country is crazy, sick. You see what I'm saying? And this was the whole impeachment thing. We're going to have to go into all this tonight because mind control is at the helm of it. And everything is everything. And we're trying to get to the point why, as this is the focus now to keep everybody unhealthy, because if anybody there thinks clear in a collective consciousness, this shit can be over tomorrow. So mind control has to be a greater trick. You see what I'm saying? And they can't just lock down everybody, because when you oppress people start thinking on a higher level. So the key is to kill off a lot of the motherfuckers that you can't conform, and then or reform or whatever, are the ones that don't conform, and then the rest of the people you keep them at a zombie state. On the other hand, the music is key to that too. Although they got bad music in the from every all aspects of R&B, the thing is all across the country. They got it here, soft jazz in Atlanta, soft jazz. All over the country is soft jazz. And that's the key, because in the particular mind control book it says, in order for the pituitary gland to work, pituitary gland regulates the flow of melanin from the pineal gland. Although the pineal gland produces it, the pituitary gland is the one that regulates the flow throughout the body, which is this particular system, this particular paper that I've handed out. If the people don't get it, don't just remind me. That people who didn't get one, just remind me, and I'll give you one before you leave. But this is a great function, great graph to show you the function of melanin throughout the body. Now the key is, based on this book, Mind Control in America by Steve Jacobson. Steve Jacobson, Mind Control in the United States. Based on this particular book, it says that the main thing to control the people is the pituitary gland produces the melanin hormones, or he just say the hormones to the particular body, but also it can be changed or modified based on the music. So if you have low bass lines and no highs, then it doesn't secrete. If you have all highs and no bass, low bass line, it doesn't secrete. So black people had a certain music that came from ragtime, gospel, blues, jazz, the funk, modern day rock and roll, early rock and roll, that always had lows. Well, he said black people have a heavy bass line, but black people always had a high too. They always had a balance. Whereas the rock and roll, they had highs, but they didn't have no low bass line, so there was not a balance. You see what I'm saying? The case in point, Isley Brothers played rock and roll, but their shit was a balance, so therefore it was the same as soul. You see what I'm saying? My point is, the black music always had highs as well as lows. Including in the 80s when they had to synthesize the highs, they had to synthesize the bass. So basically the new black music that the youngsters are listening to is basically low bass line and hardly no music. Just a boom, tick, and hardly no music. And no highs. No highs. You understand what I'm saying? So all of this particular stuff is modified and arranged to shut down the pituitary gland, and the music companies know all about it, but the music companies is the one that was in on this type of shit. So the key here is, and so the white people who used to have a little bit of blues and rock and roll type things and was dealing with some stuff, their shit is now country and bluegrass. You see what I'm saying? So this is very key that you understand this. So this, based on the smooth jazz, You thinking it's jazz and it's catchy and it follows a tune, it's really nothing.
That's right.